Welcome to Jean and Mike to the New York Times crossword. Jean is off tonight. She made the newbie mistake of going out in a Wisconsin winter and so is currently defrosting. I, however, am here and have done the crossword and found it to be an excellent one. It was by Joseph Ganji, his sixth for the New York Times since March 16th of 2022. It had an interesting theme. You could tell there was a theme. Of course, because it's a Wednesday, you would expect one. But there were a series of circled squares, and if you drew a line connecting them together, you got something that looked basically like a top hat. And that was, in fact, essentially one of the themed answers sort of distributed throughout the puzzle. The other two were 17 across, Sunday in the Park with George for one. That was Broadway musical. And the star of the show, 16 across, Pulitzer-winning composer and lyricist of Sunday in the Park with George, Stephen Sondheim. So a bit of a tribute to Stephen Sondheim here. We had some other fine clues. I thought the top left part of the grid was really strong. Started off with one across, wasn't even close as in comparison. That took me a bit, turned out to be paled. The one right underneath it, garlicky sauce, aioli, which we see fairly frequently in the New York Times crossword. Two down, gets off one's chest was heirs, which is a little bit rarer than usual. Three down, ones who probably aren't buying it, looky-loos. I love that phrase. We also had a little bit of Spanish, she in Sao Paulo, and that was Ella. It's L in French, so that sort of helped a little bit. I did not know six across. Fashion name that's become slang for excellent. Gucci. Oh, that is just Gucci. Gucci. We had, 11 across, binary 10 in decimal. That was 2. I plan to raise this in class. Very first day, in fact, to tell people that when they study computer organization, they can get better at doing the New York Times crossword, which should be their end goal. We had 12 down. That was wait, comma, blank. And the answer was, wait, what? And right next to that, we had the amusing 13 down, makes less noisy in a way, oils. That certainly can make some things less noisy. 25 across, I love just to say this, nonsense, pshaw. I don't know if that's supposed to be a reference to George Bernard Shaw, obliquely referencing Stephen Sondheim. Very likely no. 42 across was good. That's a me problem. And the answer was ego. Wasn't ready for that. I also, in particular, was not ready for 46 down. Modern suffix was situation. And the answer was ship, as in situationship. That is really hard to say. Sort of like a relationship, but a situationship. Is anyone familiar with a situationship? Please explain that to us. Crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com. We have 47 across. Oceanic was vast. That did not occur to me. And 51 across. Unappetizing gruel was slop. I predict it will not be too long before we start hearing clues AI blank, and the answer is going to be AI slop. But they haven't, as far as I can tell, based on consulting xwordinfo.com, used it in that sense yet. 53 across was amusing, like a dress that falls short, ? And the answer was petite. We had, 53 down, trident-shaped letters, psi's. You will recall that we had phi not too long ago. Now we have psi's in the grid. 65 across, poet who wrote, only through time is conquered, and that was Eliot. I'm not sure if I believe that time can get conquered. It seems to me that time, just like the house, always wins. The last word for me was 63 down. It was is blessed with, and I went with had, I think because I just saw the word blessed and thought, oh, past tense, but of course it is blessed with, and so the answer was has. That meant that 69 across, German industrial city was not Edson, as I originally had, but of course Essen. One last one to wrap it up. 56 down, most online customer service agents nowadays, bots. It's a little bit on the depressing side. Not sure if it's true, but it's in the New York Times, so we will take that as a given. All right, that is it for the crossword, but we have a little snippet of listener mail. This is from Aaron, and Aaron writes in to say, Cutco, which was an answer in a recent crossword, is not known for the knives necessarily, but more for their marketing model, which relies on independent contractors using a multi-level marketing scheme. Oh dear. Yes, looking at the Wikipedia entry, which we had not done previously, it seems that there is definitely some controversy around Cutco. Still, they put it in the New York Times, so it hopefully isn't that bad. In any event, that is it for today. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Hopefully, Gene will be back tomorrow to talk about tomorrow, a.k.a. Thursday's crossword. See you then.